Hi, I'm Irene Rue-Baum-Keller, licensed psychotherapist and author of the book Foodaholic: The 7 Stages to Permanent Weight Loss. Today we're going to be talking about fat denial. Yes, fat denial. It's the first chapter in my book, and it's the first stage to permanent weight loss. If you want to follow along, I'm going to be coming to you every single week with a new video and new tips to help you on your journey to lose weight and keep it off. If you want to follow along with the book, here it is. It's Foodaholic, and it is available at Amazon.com, at Barnes & Noble, and also at Foodaholic.net. So please get the book, follow along with us, and we'll be talking about chapter by chapter how you can lose weight and keep it off in the new year. So as you see behind me, it's Christmas time, and it's that time of year when everyone's making their New Year's resolutions. And do you know what the #1 resolution is that people make every year? That's right, it's to lose weight. Right now, over 66% of the population of America is overweight. And of that 66%, 35% is obese. Obesity puts you at risk for heart disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. It's a horrible health problem in our country right now. One of the biggest problems in obesity work, and I know this because I used to be 50 pounds heavier. I've lost 50 pounds and I've kept it off for 22 years. I'm also a psychotherapist and work in the field of eating disorders, and I'm on staff at the obesity clinic at UCLA, where I've worked with hundreds of people over the years to help them lose weight and keep it off. And what we know is that one of the reasons that people don't deal with their weight issue is that they go into something called fat denial. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Denial and coming out of fat denial is the entire first chapter of my book, Foodaholic. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can come out of fat denial and you can begin your journey toward losing weight. And more importantly than losing weight is keeping it off. So there are 3 steps that I'm going to give to you today for you to do that you can do right now. There's no reason to postpone it until after the first of the year. You can start right away. And those steps are: number 1, I want you to get on the scale. Now, I know this is a difficult thing for a lot of people to do, because if you've been in fat denial, you've been trying to not look at what you weigh, you've been worried about how that number is going to affect you psychologically, you've probably been avoiding the scale. I did when I was heavy. This is one of the things that I hated the most about going to the doctor, let's just say, because they would always weigh you, and I didn't want to confront that. Some people even put off going to the doctor because they don't want to get on a scale. So I want you to go ahead and get on the scale and write down your weight. I want you to write it down, record it, and this is going to be your before weight. This is your starting weight. Okay, so you're going to write it down, you're going to get on the scale, you're going to confront your weight. This is going to help you come out of fat denial. That's number 1. Step number 2, I want you to have pictures taken of yourself. I don't know about you, but when I was at my top weight, I used to avoid having pictures taken of me because I really didn't want to see what I looked like. I knew I was fat, but I really didn't know I was fat, if you know what I mean. The reason that I didn't is because we can't ever really see ourselves because our eyeballs are inside our head. And think about that for a minute. The only way you can really see yourself is by looking at photographs of you, by looking at yourself in a reflection, like in a mirror or in a store window, or let's say you're trying on clothes at a store and you can see yourself from behind and at angles that you're not used to seeing yourself. Then you can see what your whole body looks like. But when you're just looking at yourself, even in a mirror, you're only seeing it from the perspective of your eyeballs inside your head. So you can never really fully see yourself. And your self-image gets set very early on as far as what you think of what you look like. And it may have nothing to do with how you actually look right now. So, step number 2, have pictures taken of yourself. And when I say pictures, I want you to get the front, the side, and the back, and I want you to be wearing something form-fitting so that you can really, really see what your body looks like right now. Now, these are going to be your before pictures, so don't worry if they look horrible. Don't worry if you can see rolls and bumps and bulges. This is your before pictures, and you're going to want them because you're going to want to see how far you've come a year from now when it's New Year's Eve next year and you've lost 50, 60, 100 pounds, and you can show all of your friends, this is what I used to look like, here's what I look like now. So that's step number 2, is have photos taken of yourself, your before pictures. Step number 3, I want you to physically touch your body. All right, now I know that sounds kind of weird, but I mean physically touch yourself, touch your belly, feel what you feel like right now at this weight. All right, so one of the things that I did when I was fat is I stopped crossing my arms in front of my body. Reason being is that when I did cross my arms, they stuck way up like this, because my belly was so big that my arms would rest on my belly and it was uncomfortable, and I felt like, you know what, people really know I'm fat if my arms are crossing like this. I want you to do that. Put your arms, cross them in front of yourself and just see where they land. Get a physical sense, a sensory perception of your body when you cross your arms in front of your body. Then I want you to cross your legs if you can. When I was at my top weight, I could cross my legs, but they were not crossing very well because my thighs were so big that my top leg would sort of stick out from my bottom leg and my foot would stick out, and so that when people would walk by, they would hit my ankle and I would get physically hurt because they would hit me. So if you can cross your legs, I want you to cross your legs and just sort of take a note of where that leg lands, the top leg, when you cross it if you can. If you can't, fine, that's your starting point. This is what it is before you begin your weight loss journey. So these are the steps that I want you to take in order to begin to come out of fat denial. We need to come out of denial in order to be motivated to lose weight and to do something about it. If we just pretend that everything's fabulous and we look great and all of this stuff, even though we're hiding from cameras, we're wearing stretchy clothing, we don't want to be seen in a bathing suit, even though we know that we're heavy, until we really physically and confront it on the scale, confront it in the photos, we're not really confronting, we're not really motivated to do what we need to do to change it. So, number 1, get on the scale, write down your weight. This is your before weight, this is your starting weight. Number 2, have photos taken of yourself. These are your before pictures. You're going to want to keep these. I got rid of all of the pictures of me when I was fat. This was 22 years ago, so it was before digital. So they were hard copies of pictures and I just cut them all up and threw them out. So I don't have that record of how I used to look, and I'm sorry that I don't, because now, being thinner, I would really like to be able to show people, look at him. But I got rid of all of those. So I want you to go ahead and take these photos, keep them. They're your before pictures. So that's number 2. Number 3, physically touch your body. Cross your arms in front of your body, cross your legs, physically touch your tummy, touch your hips, touch your thighs. Feel what you feel like right now and get a good sense of where you are starting from. And that's it for today. And if you want to follow along chapter by chapter, you can get the book. Once again, it's called Foodaholic, The 7 Stages to Permanent Weight Loss. Today we're talking about the very first stage. It's the whole first chapter, and it's called Fat Denial. And I want to help you get out of fat denial and begin your journey to a new, healthy you. See you next time.